Imagine a single, impossibly fragile thread of sound, stretched across the silent, unforgiving vacuum of space. For decades, our radio telescopes have been our ears, pressed against the cosmic wall, listening for any whisper that isn't the background hiss of creation. We've heard the rhythmic drumming of pulsars and the violent screams of dying galaxies. But on a Tuesday night last year, at an observatory deep in the Atacama Desert, we heard something else. Something that shouldn't exist. It wasn't a roar or a beat, but a structured, impossibly faint signal from a patch of sky known for its profound emptiness. A region of space devoid of stars, galaxies, or nebulae. A celestial dead zone. And from this void, a signal arrived that was so orderly, so mathematically precise, that it broke every model of natural cosmic phenomena. This wasn't the chaotic noise of nature. This was the universe speaking in a language we were never meant to hear, an unauthorized broadcast from the silent dark. They called it, in the hushed, classified meetings that followed, the progenitor signal. It was detected for exactly 72 minutes before vanishing, as if it had never been there. But in that brief window, it painted a picture that has kept astronomers awake at night ever since. First, its point of origin. When we traced it back, it didn't come from a planet or a star. It emanated from the geometric center of the Boötes void, a colossal, spherical emptiness in space, nearly 330 million light-years in diameter. It's one of the largest voids we know of, a place so barren that if our galaxy were at its center, we wouldn't have known other galaxies existed until the 1960s. Why would a signal, especially one with such a complex structure, come from the loneliest place in the universe? Then there was the signal's content. It wasn't a simple beep or pulse like the famous "wow" signal. The progenitor signal was modulated, carrying layers of information in a pattern based on prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. It's a sequence that is universally recognized as a hallmark of intelligence. No known natural process generates prime numbers in a sequential, repeating broadcast. It was deliberate. But within that mathematical framework was something else, a layer of complexity that our best minds still can't decipher. It was like finding a perfectly preserved book in an ancient tomb, written in a language that shares no roots with any other. We know it's a language, but we have no key to unlock it. The signal was a ghost, a message in a bottle thrown from a shore we can't see. The initial theory was, of course, extraterrestrial intelligence, a beacon from a long-lost civilization. But that comforting, almost exciting idea quickly soured. Analysis of the signal's wave properties revealed a disturbing anomaly. The light showed a peculiar type of redshifting, but it wasn't uniform. Parts of the wave seemed older than others, as if the signal had traveled through wrinkles in spacetime, or even worse, as if it hadn't traveled at all, but had simply appeared. This violates our fundamental understanding of physics. Information cannot simply materialize out of nothing. It led to a far more chilling hypothesis, one whispered in secure video conferences, that the signal wasn't from the void, but was about the void. What if a civilization of unimaginable advancement discovered something terrifying at the heart of these cosmic dead zones? What if the voids aren't empty, but are simply places where the laws of our universe have been turned off? Some theorists now propose the progenitor signal is not a greeting, but a warning, a tombstone. The prime number sequence isn't a friendly hello. It's the simplest, most universal way to prove you are, or were, intelligent. The rest of the undecipherable message might be a desperate attempt to explain what they found in the emptiness, and what happened to them as a result. This makes it a forbidden signal, not because some galactic empire forbids it, but because the knowledge it contains may be something our own civilization isn't ready for. The message might be a sort of cosmic horror, an idea so fundamentally disruptive it could shatter our science, our philosophy, our entire perception of reality. This is why you haven't read about the progenitor signal in the news. It's being treated less like a discovery and more like a contamination. A handful of scientists are now faced with the ultimate dilemma. Do they try to decode a message that may have been sent as a warning against the very act of trying to understand it? The signal came from a place we thought was empty, a place defined by its nothingness. But we are beginning to suspect that nothing is what we should have been afraid of all along. The team working in secret has just had a breakthrough. A single, repeating phrase has finally been isolated from the layers of static and prime numbers, and it translates to a simple, terrifying question. Are you listening alone?